lovely introduction. Very well. Good evening to all my viewers who are watching us live right now. And about myself, I think Sir has given a wonderful, lovely introduction. Nothing much about it. But yes, about the theme, definitely I have to speak a lot because world peace is something which we all need to understand probably into a deeper sense. Currently, keeping in mind the current scenario, I think this is the need of the hour that we all need to focus on what we are doing and how we are being playing a role of a catalyst in terms of world peace creation. So I'll straightforward march to my topic, which is a theme called world peace, or I say global peace. As we all know, world peace or peace on earth is the concept of an ideal state of happiness, freedom, and peace within and among all people and nations on planet Earth. Let's understand first what is the main idea behind this peace. Peace is a concept of societal friendship and harmony in the absence of hostility and violence. In a social sense, peace is commonly used to mean a lack of conflict and freedom from fear of violence between individuals and groups. When I see global peace, it is having both positives as well as negatives. But it is equally important for all of us to understand how we take this term called peace into a much diversified form. Theoretically, if I have to differentiate, it is divided into dimensions as personal, social, national, international, and global. Today, humankind is suffering from multi-dimensional crises such as terrorism, population explosion, denial of human rights, economic inequality, racial discrimination, ideological extremism, religious intolerance, and social injustice. To name a few, ecological imbalance, oppression of weak are among the few more to be mentioned. These peace related issues compel us to lay down the fundamental principle of global ethics that expects us to realize our roles and duties regarding global peace. It includes the role of ideals of educationalists, duties of scientists, philosophers, thinkers, the inculcation of human values such as nonviolence, love, etc. Further, for the sake of world peace, when we talk about, now let's understand much more onto the side of well being. Since peace can be brought when one strives for the welfare of all instead of one. If the notion of welfare were translated into action, it would automatically uproot the evils that disturb world peace. If we adopt the guiding principles of our actions, social disturbances can definitely be reduced to minimum. Mutual trust is also needed in this stage of transnationalism. Psychology informs of us that where divisibility prevails, human beings become isolated and victims of unhappiness and misery. It is true of nations which are constituent parts of and the same global system. Global peace, when we talk about, it adopts the policy of dialogue or bilateral negotiations. We are living in a very crucial age where confrontation determination to encounter force should be replaced by a policy of non-violent dialogue. Ideological extremism, religious and extreme patriotism, imperialistic tendency lead to intolerance and fanaticism, and these rob people of their ability to engage in dialogue. People are not free to voice out what they feel from inside. I ask a question to all of you. Are we living in the world of global peace, or we are pretending to be maintaining that peace? I think this is the right question to ask to every individual. I'll take the today's issue of what is happening with our entire human soul in Ukraine slightly later. But before Ukraine, I want to ask every single individual on this planet, trust your heart and tell me, are we really managing global peace, or we are trying to be a part of this mission? Let's understand, when we talk about peace seekers, argue in favor of preparedness to discuss, examine, and change our own beliefs and those of others entirely on the grounds of factual experience and reason. By direct communication, even the ideologically inspired enmity or mistrust can be dissolved, and the aim of global peace may be achieved. I do not claim that foregoing description is comprehensive or exhaustive. Death, injury, sexual violence, malnutrition, illness, and disability are some of the most threatening physical consequences of war. Unfortunately, today, what we see in the name of war in Ukraine is highly devastating. While post traumatic stress, disorders, depression, and anxiety are some of the emotional effects. Not only can war be destructive to the social environment, but military activities produce extensive amounts of greenhouse gases, which actually contribute towards the biggest damage to climate change, pollution, cause resource depletion, among other environmental impacts. Directly or indirectly, by initiating war, what we are trying to create, we are just trying to create an imbalance from all the sides in terms of global peace. Effects of war also include mass destruction of cities and have long lasting effects on a country's economy. And as you know, a country economy is highly important, not from an infrastructure point of view, but let it be from youth point of view, an individual soul who is being a part of that particular country. Armed conflicts has important indirect negative consequences on infrastructure, public health, and social order. These indirect consequences are often overlooked and unappreciated. So today, I think we have to think that war is only giving something which is only going to exacerbate all the human souls from all the imbalanced sides. In addition to causing suffering, interpersonal violence, social unrest, and collective violence hinders the productivity and economic activity, destabilizes institutions, and reduce business confidence. That's where further we hit the complete economy of the country, and further that leads to the economy of the world. All I'm trying to say in a nutshell is that directly or indirectly, everybody is getting impacted, no matter what, wherever you are initiating your war. Putting aside the very real human cost, war has also serious economic cost, damage to infrastructure, a decline in the working population, inflation, shortage, uncertainty, a rise in debt, and disruption to normal economic activity, which is again a biggest disaster on this planet Earth to the humanity. Nevertheless, I believe that it is a step towards formulating a moral philosophy of global peace. In the end, I invite you to walk together and speak in concord. Let our minds comprehend alike. Let our efforts be united. Let our hearts be in agreement. Let our minds be united. Only then we all may be happy. Let's create peace and let's only crave for peace. War is absolutely not the solution because I always believe everything is possible if you're willingness to do that impossible is possible because the word itself says, I am possible. War is not inherent in human beings. We learn war, and please remember, we learn peace. The culture of peace is something which is learned just as violence is learned and war culture is learned. At last, I, on behalf of every Indian here who is hearing me out from any part of the globe, pays my deepest tribute to all the brave hearts of Ukraine who selflessly sacrificed their lives in the service of the nation and homage to all the innocent civilians who lost their lives on. We're always there with you in this tough time because then only we can create justice to the most beautiful soul called humanity. I believe in peace and I only just raise my voice towards peace because I believe peace is the best form of humanity. And if we all can do that, we do justice. That's all from my side. Love, light, and abundance to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Really, that's a fantastic. You surely be a world peace torchbearer because the way you have presented your views in short period of time, or this for 15 to 20 minutes, really, that's really touching speech made by you,
Thank you.
Excellency. Of course, we already know that you will give your mark, not only here, wherever you appear, you make your mark. And
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rajarao sir.
because the flow that you have, the ease, that's really commendable, Excellency. And we all hope that something should be done to establish peace between that Ukraine and Russia because the children are suffering because we do not have
Absolutely.
any right to struggle or harm those innocent children. And the next thing is women. Women are suffering. If something goes wrong, if some violence happens anywhere, the first victims are children and women. Really,
True.
it should not be appreciable. It should not be acceptable. So,
The most dangerous thing which we see in today's news also that every normal civilian in Ukraine is in a queue to take up the armed forces. The
yes,
reason is all they want to save is their country.
yes,
And they say that the leader with whom they are together is really commanding and powerful because he is one man who is motivating everybody to stay towards your country because that's your first religion. And humanity, no doubt, is our first religion. So we all pray for it.
yes. From 18 years to 80 years, 18 years to 80 years, they have weapon in their hand and they are
Yes,
going on killing spree. That's really where we are going, our humanity, or where we are going towards. Really,
very
when
true.
something happened before 1947, really, while we are studying about that Second World War, really, we were very pathetic. What happened? Why it is? Why it was happened? We think like that at the time of Hitler era. But see,
True.
today we are here, we know the history, we know the consequences, but still they want to dominate one another, each other. That's what going. It's just a mere pride. They want to prove themselves. They want to dominate other nations, and something like going. It's they are saying that it's a struggle for existence. Russia is saying that we are protecting ourselves. Ukraine is saying
True.
that we want to protect ourselves. In protecting themselves, they are killing each other. They don't
I
want.
think there can be a very better solution of talk because
Yes,
communication is a very important weapon
yes,
today. We all are educated, we all are mature enough. And I
yes,
think every best possible solution can
yes,
be taken out once you have a discussion.
yes. Perfectly, Excellency. Really, if they sit and discuss,
Yes,
because they have come from the same mother, because they have come
very
from the same
true.
mother, they can do that. But unfortunately, anyway, we have to. all nations should sit and discuss about the role of United Nations, because
Very
the main
true.
role of United Nations is to work in this movement. But what they are simply doing is, once Donald Trump said, they are celebrating, they are doing alcohol parties, and they are sharing awards. That's all. He openly said on a
Correct.
public platform. It was by American President Donald Trump's statement while he was in office. So it was
Right.
really unfortunate, but the time has to come where United Nations, all the organs should sit and they have to discuss what is their role actually. For the namesake are clear, they are supposed to contribute something when something goes wrong like this. Because
Absolutely.
yes, if it is ignored, you know what happens really. It will be an opportunity for each and every nation to fight. So
The most important thing is be a leader with an action, and the action has to be in the constructive manner for the betterment of the society and for the betterment of the humanity. That's what is we talk about world peace. Then
yes,
only we can establish world peace.
excellency, excellent, perfectly said. Anyway, on this platform, on behalf of our special guest, engineer Sonesh Bharadwaj, ma'am, and on behalf of all the world population, I request all world leaders. It's a time for every nation, because if if they really use the present weapons, one weapon can kill the entire nation. So
True.
millions of lives will last. So whatever it is going on currently is just it's like a rehearsals. So if they really take it seriously, whether it is Russia or it is Ukraine, really it is not. It won't be in our hands. And Russia is being supported by China, and Ukraine is being supported by US. If really China enters, or if from that side America enters, that is the start of Third World War. Really, if that happens, all nations kill one another. That happens. So I request all global leaders and each and every citizen. So we should run, we should go towards the peace where we can give a better future for small children, our coming generation. That should be our responsibility. With this note, I'm going to conclude this program. And once again, I want to thank our special guest, engineer Sonesh Bharadwaj, ma'am. You are awesome,
Thank you.
amazing, as usual. You are, because for the last 2 years I have been seeing you, because you never disappoint us with your presentation, whether it is 2 minutes or 20 minutes or 30 minutes. It doesn't matter to you, but you make it
Yes.
in time. And thank you once again for patiently waiting for this program and joining us and making this program memorable. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Raja Rao sir. Thank you so much, Time Sandia, and thank you everyone. Have a lovely good evening.